Good morning, everybody, on Tuesday, February 7th, and somehow, and by God's grace, we have made it to episode 175
Wow.
of the
Hey,
359
whoa.
podcast.
That's a milestone.
That's a mini milestone.
Mini milestone.
Good morning, Roger Chen and Ben Fox Rubin. What is up, guys?
What is up? Wow,
I'm
175. That's impressive.
I'm
Really?
glad you haven't fired me
stuff.
yet. That feels really
The
good.
day's not over yet, Ben.
Shout out to Amir, who's in the chat and feeling nerdy.
Yes. So am I.
It's a very, very nerdy title to this episode.
I know
so
it is. So
let's really lean into it.
yeah, so we're gonna be talking about YouTube Live going on mobile soon. Soon, not yet, but there's a feature they promised back in June, but they're finally getting around to bringing it out. We're going to be talking about LG G6, a little bit more information on that, a little bit more of a tease. And lastly, check out this cool video that someone made using HoloLens, an interpretation of the video game Portal on HoloLens. It's sort of a great example of augmented reality. So,
Yeah, it looked pretty cool to me.
yeah, totally. So let's do it. If you have any questions, as usual, leave them in the comment section. Brian will pick out the best, and we will get to them in 4 minutes or less.
All right, here we go. Start the recording in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day and all the other crap we want to throw in. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
So it's all about live video. YouTube said today that it would launch its live video service on mobile phones soon. Didn't give a specific date yet, but it's a service that's available on its desktop. We actually use it to broadcast the 359 live. But going on mobile means it takes on Facebook Live. Now, live streaming has been one of the hot trends over the last year or so. But Ben, what do you think? Do you think YouTube has a shot at sort of being the next Facebook Live killer?
Jeez. I mean, like, don't you think that it's like Facebook is the underdog in this situation? It is definitely interesting to see. And like, by the way, what about Periscope? Like, whatever happened to those guys?
Or Meerkat?
Meerkat died, but Periscope was actually like still a thing by like a legitimately sized company.
Right.
But it is interesting to see how much video has become like this really important thing to all these major tech players.
Absolutely.
That's how they make money these days. That's how they get a
That's
lot
where
of
all
the ad bucks.
Yeah, that's where all the ad money is.
That's
right?
where all the ad bucks are going. So it's kind of this continued tit for tat. That's
So it's
how
interesting.
YouTube is going to continue to keep up with Facebook.
You think Facebook's actually the underdog here. Now, granted, YouTube is still the most popular site for video, but in terms of live video and mobile live video, this is fairly new for them.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, in that case, it feels like, why didn't they do it sooner?
Yeah.
They kind of let Facebook jump in the game and really start to expand in mobile video a lot more and basically eat Meerkat and Periscope's lunch.
Yep.
We'll see if YouTube is then able to gobble up a lot of what Facebook has been able to do so far.
What YouTube has its advantages, if they've got sort of this huge stable of YouTube celebrities, and they can capitalize on that. One of the big features that I think sets this apart from Facebook is this feature called Super Chat, allowing viewers to actually interact and directly talk to these YouTubers for a price.
Right.
So for a YouTuber,
very smart.
For YouTubers, this is huge because this is another revenue stream. It encourages them to actually use this as opposed to Facebook Live.
I thought this was interesting too because it potentially cuts down on trolling. I don't know what the price is, but you're much less likely, I would assume, to go after somebody if you actually have to start paying.
Yeah.
So
sort of think about like
I've
got to make my comment
right.
really worth it.
Right. If I am going to troll somebody, I'm just going to do it once because I got to make rent this week.
All right, next up, LG has officially set its G6 press conference for February 26th. That's at the beginning of Mobile World Congress. As we're expecting a pretty busy day in terms of a lot of phones. It's going to be a busy show, but LG has potential to really steal the show with Samsung out of the running there. So, I mean, the big tease is that this phone is going to be almost all screen, virtually bezel-less.
That's pretty cool.
It's funny though because the rumor has it that iPhone will have a similar feature. Now you're starting to see a bunch of these companies. Like Xiaomi, now LG, kind of come out ahead of the rumor, kind of capitalize on this feature.
That tends to be the case, right? Everybody like sees what the Apple rumor is going to be in September, and they try to get out ahead of it in hopes that, like, hey, we'll steal these customers before they get the new iPhone.
Right, and we've already reported that, again, the G6 loses its replaceable battery, but is water resistant. So kind of going in line with what the rest of the industry is doing. Lastly, please check out this clip that someone made using HoloLens and augmented reality to recreate the game Portal. And for those of you who don't know what Portal is, basically you're able to create these little portals or warp holes or whatever, warp zones to move from place to place to escape this dangerous lab. In this video, you're able to actually take this virtual cube, throw it around from one portal to another, and the cube actually interacts with things in real life. Like for instance, you drop the portal or you drop the cube down a flight of stairs, it will actually recognize those real stairs and like roll down them. So it's a great example of augmented reality.
That is really cool and definitely shows the potential of what you could do in AR. So definitely looking forward to seeing more of these kind of things.
Absolutely. So for more of these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
As an avid Portal gamer, that looks really awesome.
I would definitely get into that.
You
That
know,
would actually be dangerous. Like I wouldn't end up talking to people. I would
Yeah.
just be playing Portal.
You just
all the
create
time.
little like portals from place to
Right.
place.
Right.
Like,
Oh, you want me to write a story? I'll
how would that
slap
work if you put
portal
a
on
portal like on top of say like Ben, right? Would the cube fall and hit Ben's head? Well, actually, I'm just curious how smart the system is. It'll actually
Well,
recognize.
you said if it interacts with stairs, it just recognizes objects in the foreground, right?
Right.
As just an obstacle.
By
Yeah.
the
So
way,
the companion cube would probably bounce off his head.
this is what's really
Which is
cool
great
about
to
this,
see.
by the way,
It'd be
is
better
that
if it was actually real.
yes.
a recent college graduate is the one that actually created this. His name is Kenny Wang, and he's still looking around for a job apparently.
What?
Hopefully
this
somebody
guy
scoops
needs
him
to
up
be employed
immediately.
ASAP. Yeah.
Right, but that's like I initially thought this was a concept that came from Microsoft, but this was from a recent college graduate, which shows the potential for developing these kind of things once you start getting it out there.
Those things are $3,000 a pop.
I don't know. That is a good question.
They're
But I'm
not
glad he
available
did.
for mass consumers. It's really just a developer edition that they have right now to allow people like Kenny to experiment with the potential of that headset.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is definitely one of the cooler examples that I've seen of HoloLens. I mean, and I've seen a couple, but this is I'm not a big fan of Portal either.
You should be.
I don't game that much, so
Let's jump back into the YouTube versus Facebook stream war.
yeah.
Before we discover both their mother's names as Martha.
Oh, nice.
Owen in the chat
Really?
points out.
Okay, fine, I get
You
it.
get it. Come
I
on.
get it.
First off, Owen calls out that YouTube's been saying soon for far too long.
Yes.
And then
Agreed.
Since June, basically.
More importantly, he says they're two totally different platforms. People on YouTube actually watch videos. Facebook is where people spend 30 seconds to 3 minutes on video, but rarely more. And he's not wrong with that.
No, that's true.
You got to wonder if this would
Facebook
actually
is-
transform the YouTube audience landscape, because as you said, it's a paid service, so people will pay to troll for one. It will happen.
they paid a chat.
Speaking from experience,
They paid a chat. They don't necessarily pay to watch the videos. So
fair.
it could evolve in two ways. Like it could work to allow individuals to stream video more easily from their phone, as Facebook Live has done, or maybe it just changes the way sort of the presentation of YouTube videos are done now. Like most of them are done in great like studios and sets or polished videos, like the YouTube celebrities, right?
Right.
Taking it mobile means maybe you'll see more interactive videos, or you'll see more videos that are sort of on the road, but starring YouTubers as opposed to the average Joe who's just streaming, like their high school basketball game.
I think the commenter is right that Facebook has generally been used for shorter video clips. However, the company has really been pushing to get people to watch longer videos.
Yeah,
they even said that
absolutely.
they're really going to try to impress upon longer videos in the news stream, because once you're on Facebook, getting people to watch videos and getting them to watch them longer is a great way to get more engagement, feed you more ads,
sure.
help Facebook make more money.
I mean,
So-
I've said this a couple of times. My wife uses Facebook. The news feed is basically like her remote control. She just keeps swiping through videos. She sees a video she likes, she'll just keep playing it. So,
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting that YouTube's really gone to both ends of the spectrum now with the YouTube Red and now this YouTube Mobile Live, where it's gone from premium, extensive, feature-length content to Periscope clone.
right.
they have to
And
be
everything
everywhere.
in between.
That's the tech world. You have to be everywhere, and if you aren't, like YouTube had been with mobile live streaming, you're basically allowing Facebook to come in and start to build in that area, and that's a big problem. Like YouTube does not want to lose on video.
It's just interesting, though, in the world where Periscope and Vine are dead, and now we get Instagram and YouTube stories type situations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that Maxter in the chat has pointed out, go Instagram. I really love their new update with stories. It's so original. I think it's the first time I've ever recognized sarcasm in the chat.
There you go.
Bravo.
I mean, that is true, but if Facebook wants to keep stealing Snapchat's playbook and, none of that stuff is actually like patentable or anything. They're just smart ideas or smart design. If they want to keep doing that using Instagram, then like go ahead.
I mean, the killer app there is that Facebook can take all those ideas that Snapchat has pioneered and actually put it in a user interface that people understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like Snapchat is intentionally confusing, and they said that's a risk. That's what makes it cool. But if
it's kind of a little fraternity on its
exactly.
own, you gotta be a Ute.
But if you want to reach that billion users, you could Facebook steal the idea and just repurpose it and make it a lot easier to use. I mean, Apple does that.
It'll probably do an arguably better job of delivering that kind of content since there are already more household names. I mean, when my mom and grandma know what YouTube and Facebook are,
and
if you start giving this an opportunity, like, oh God, I don't want to think about like my mom making Vines.
Vines? Has Vine come back?
No, but this is I think this mirrors a lot of that in execution, I would think.
It's true.
But you could see her do Facebook Live video.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Really? No?
Anybody
Here's
else?
me cooking a cake or baking a cake.
For my lovely son.
Yeah, for my son Brian. Tagging Brian here.
Who didn't want to watch me do this for him.
I want to give note to Cochina in the chat. YouTube's constant change of algorithm hurts if you're a company. And I think that is very true. There's been a lot of outcry from the YouTube celebrity platform, the regular content contributors about how the algorithm is very, very favoritism. What am I looking for?
It's selective in
Very
terms
selective.
of who benefits from that algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah, and not everybody can post every day and keep up like you have to do to stay relevant on YouTube. So here's the thing. Will this kind of platform become more of a supplemental? You see channels contributing maybe once or twice a week a full-form video and then these little clips in between kind of thing to fill the gaps?
Yeah, I think that was part of my original point was I think
you're changing like the concept of subscription-based media.
Yeah, I think you'll see sort of a change in the presentation of a lot of these videos from more slickly produced pieces of content that's longer form to shorter clips done on the go, done on the fly. I mean that just only makes sense to me especially for these YouTubers who are looking to build a connection with their viewers. Like, it doesn't get more intimate than like shooting this random video on your phone, like on the go, wherever you are, right?
Yeah.
It's also, to me, fascinating to see how you create new forms of celebrity with each new format. And so this is obviously another opportunity to mint new YouTube stars just by creating this new mobile live streaming platform. Granted, that hasn't really happened with Periscope. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
But it did with Vine.
But it did with Vine.
Right.
So this if done correctly and if you don't end up suppressing some of the new voices, this could actually help elevate some interesting new people on YouTube.
And before we let it go, calling out to the chat again, is anybody excited about the new G6 phone? I am interested because I'm going to be in the market for a new phone, and I hate the new iPhone.
All right.
Sell it to me.
Me? I don't know. I'm not a salesman.
Hold it. What was the big thing with the G5? Was that the modular phone?
Yeah, the G5 was the one where like the bottom half kind of was removable and you could swap out different parts for it.
It was kind of a failure.
It was a total failure. And I mean, they've completely reversed course, right? This phone, for better or worse, it kind of mimics a lot of the other flagship phones, right? LG for a long time was like, we're the only ones with a replaceable battery. That's gone now, right? They said, well, water resistance, we don't really know if people care about that. That's in the new phone. It will be, again, frameless, not frameless, it'll be near frameless. So it'll kind of follow the iPhone rumor playbook.
Do we have any info on like durability, grading, anything like that yet? Because you think all glass front, shatter.
That's a really good point. Although, I mean, if they're using Gorilla Glass, latest Gorilla Glass, it should be okay, right? Ben, our Gorilla Glass expert.
Yes and no. If you drop it on a flat surface, sure. If you drop it on asphalt, even if it's flat asphalt, but you're much more likely
if you drop
for it to
any
break.
phone on asphalt, like it doesn't matter if it's full glass or not.
It's
right?
true.
It's still gonna crack, right?
Right. No, it's just it's a useful tip to people that I guess you should panic a little bit more if you drop it on asphalt because asphalt is not completely flat. It's got all those little edges to it, and that's what cracks your phone. If you dropped it on marble, because marble is mostly flat, you're more likely to be okay because
Not a
it,
guarantee.
it
It's
gets
never
to-
a guarantee.
right, but it spreads out the pain across the phone a little bit more. So
The pain.
you shouldn't drop your phone.
One more thing before we wrap it up for the day.
Yep.
When do we know? When is the YouTube update going live?
We don't know.
We don't
They
know
just
yet.
said soon.
Soon.
And it's
Soon.
first going to come to
The
folks
YouTube,
that
yeah,
have
YouTuber account, like
10,000 subscribers.
yeah,
or
exactly.
more.
So you've got to be like a YouTuber basically to take advantage of this first.
Got it.
So,
So follow us,
we're that close.
and we'll
Right.
start being lazier with the show.
yeah.
It's the 3:59 from my bedroom. Actually, from my bed. I just didn't bother to wake up today. All right, let's
Call
leave
it
it
a
at that.
day.
All right. If you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music. See y'all tomorrow.
Bye bye.